Hello and welcome. My name is Alyssa, and today we will go through a 30-minute all levels flow, a vinyasa style flow. So if you have a yoga mat, go ahead and roll that out. If you have blocks, I will highly recommend blocks throughout. Really part of any vinyasa flow. I'm a big user of blocks, so always encourage those. If you don't have them, large water bottles or large textbooks just to help bring the ground up to you. If you have sensitive knees, grab a knee pad, grab a blanket, something that will support you there. I typically don't cue that, but if you need it, feel free to use it wherever you see fit. And I would like to, as always, begin this class, as I do all of my classes, with some seated breathing. So finding a comfortable seat for you, whatever that looks like in your body. And then from there, we'll go ahead, palms facing down if you'd like a little bit of grounding, palms facing up if you'd like a little bit of lightness or a little bit of lift. And either close the eyes or have a soft gaze down at one steady point on the floor, finding the breath in and out of the nose. And as we begin to settle, if the mind starts to wander off to what your to-do list is for today, I'm inviting you to bring the mind back to the breath, finding just this breath in and just this breath out, allowing yourself to settle, finding the stack of the ears, the shoulders, and the hips in alignment, that steady foundation on the sit bones. And continue to come back to the breath. Again, if at any point the mind starts to wander without judgment, can you gently bring it back to just this breath in and just this breath out? Together, we'll take 3 deep belly breaths together. You can leave your hands where they are or bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. Breathe in deeply through the nose, expand the chest, expand the rib cage, expand the belly. And then exhale back out of the nose. 2 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Release control of the breath. Release the hands back to where they came from. Finding just a couple of your natural rhythm of breath here. After your next exhale, release the air out completely from the bottom of the lungs. Empty out. And then inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up overhead. Palms come to touch. And then hands come down through heart center, Anjali Mudra, bowing the head, setting an intention for your practice today, whatever that might look like for you. Flutter the eyes open if you close them. We'll go ahead and meet in all fours. So in all fours, you want to find the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Inhale, drop the belly down, pull the chest and heart forward, and exhale, push the ground away and round. Inhale, arch for cow. Exhale, round for cat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Now you can stay here in this more linear cat-cow or add in anything that feels good to you if you want to swish the hips from side to side. If you want to face the fingers out or face the fingers towards the knees to open up the wrists and rock back and forth or side to side, more than welcome to do that as well. Really anything that your body is asking for today. Likely different from what it needed yesterday and will likely be different from what it needs tomorrow, but just listen to what it needs today. Stay present here. One more cycle of breath wherever you are. And after your next exhale, we'll go ahead and meet in all fours. Go ahead and step back into a plank either on the balls of the feet or you can come down to the knees. And we'll go ahead and lower all the way through Chaturanga down to the mat. Untuck the toes for oscillating cobra. So tent the fingertips outside the mat. And as you inhale, lift as high or as low feels good to you. And then exhale, release back down. 2 more like that. Inhale and lift. Pull the shoulders down and exhale, relax. Lower down. Last time, inhale, lift and hold up. Again, really pull the shoulders down the back. Engage the glutes so you're pulling out of the lower back. 1 more breath. And exhale, release all the way back down. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Push back, child's pose. Big toes come together, knees spread apart. Wide enough so that you can fit your chest in between your legs, but not so wide that there's no contact at all. Reach the arms out a little bit further. Get a little bit more of a side stretch through the side bodies here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. And exhale. Now plant the hands cat spine all the way up to all fours once again. We're going to keep the knees stacked underneath the hips, but we're coming into puppy pose. So you're going to walk the hands out as far as feels good to you. And then on an exhale, gently release the chest, the chin, the forehead down to a block or the floor. Again, the hips are still over top of the knees. Getting a nice stretch through the shoulders, through the chest. 2 more breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. Gently walk your hands back a couple prints. Tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Once you arrive, feel free to pedal it out, coming to the ball of one foot, ball of the other. Again, the invitation to swish the hips from side to side by dropping the heels one direction, the toes the other, and swapping that direction if you chose to take it. Finding stillness or continuing to find movement, we're going to take 2 more breaths here in down dog. Can you really push the ground away with the thumbs and the pads of the fingers? Can you lift the hips up to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you? 1 more breath. And exhale. Bottom of the exhale, gently walk yourself up to the top of the mat, meeting Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need. We're very early in practice here still. Inhale, half lift, hands come to shins or thighs. Pull the chest and the heart forward. Exhale, release back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Down through heart center and by the sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. In mountain, your feet can be hips width, or they can come all the way together, either or. Going to go through some sun salutations. Inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, step back, right foot, left foot, plank pose. On the balls of the feet or the knees, as you exhale for the first one, we'll lower all the way down to the ground. And tuck the toes, Bhujangasana, low cobra, pull the chest and the heart forward. Exhale, release, back down. Push back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths in down dog, breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. At the bottom of your exhale, gently walk yourself up to the top of the mat. Meeting in forward fold, Uttanasana. Release the head at the bottom of the fold. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Pull the chest and heart forward. Exhale, release, back down. Inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Down through heart center and by the sides, Tadasana. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, out, around, and up. Exhale, hinge, forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, left foot, right foot, plank pose. This time on the balls of the feet or the knees. You can lower halfway into Chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lift the hips up as you breathe in. And exhale. Bottom of the exhale, step, hop, float, walk to the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold, Uttanasana, however you want to get there. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Down through heart center and by the sides, Tadasana. 1 more time. Inhale, out, around, and up. Exhale, hinge, forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time you can step back to plank and lower down or float back. If you're going to float to bent elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and take 3 breaths here. So if you'd like to take a child's pose or any sort of rest, this is a beautiful place to take one. If you're in down dog, really pushing the ground away. And if your armpits had eyeballs, they would be looking at one another, or at least trying to. 1 more breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to nose. Pull the right knee into the nose. Now crisscross down dog. You're going to step the right foot next to the left, but the right knee is in front of the left knee, so you have a crisscross down dog. So if you're looking at your legs, you see your right knee. You do not see your left because the right is crossed in front of the left. You can stay here. This is a beautiful place to stay. If you want to swivel around to a rock star wild thing, you can lift the left hand up, swivel on the balls of the feet, drop the hips down to the ground. So your hips are just hovering over the mat. And from here, lift the hips up, coming into rock star wild thing, a different variation if you want to take it. 2 breaths. And exhale. 1 more breath in. And exhale. Swivel yourself back. If you took that rock star wild thing, we'll all meet back in crisscross down dog. Right leg is in front of the left. From here, step the right leg through in between the hands. Help the foot up if you need. Low lunge, hands can be on the floor. Hands can come up to blocks. Whatever fits you, I just encourage you to pull the chest and the heart forward here. So if you need blocks to do that, it's not a sign of weakness. 2 more breaths. And exhale. Last breath in. And exhale. Set the blocks out of the way if you use them. Get strong in your feet. Come up, high lunge. 3 breaths in high lunge. Hands can go up to the sky, or hands can be at heart center if that's better on the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. Inhale, open it up, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Right toes are forward. Left toes are slightly turned in. The shoulders are relaxed down the back, but the arms remain strong. 3 breaths here. Two more breaths. And exhale. Last breath in. And exhale. Flip the right wrist, lengthen the right leg, reach it up and back, reverse triangle. If you put weight in this back hand, wrap it around the back half bind. 1 more breath here. And exhale. Inhale, come up to stand. Turn all 10 toes to the left side of the mat. Inhale again to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, hinge forward, wide leg forward fold. Hands come down to blocks or the floor. If you have the mobility and the flexibility, really putting the hands in between the feet. Chaturanga-ing the arms or bending the arms back, elbows go back. Pulling the weight into the balls of the feet and out of the heels. 1 more breath. And exhale. Inhale, half lift, pull the chest and heart forward. Hands come to hips. Hinge yourself up. We're coming into flying warrior, so hands can stay on the hips if that feels good on your shoulders. Or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, V the arms up to the sky, gently gazing up to the sky. 3 breaths in flying warrior, taking up your space. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And then exhale. Bring the gaze back center as you inhale. And as you exhale, warrior 2 to the top of the mat. Right toes go forward, left toes slightly turned in, right knee bent, left leg straight. 3 breaths here. 2 more. Can you get a little deeper? Last breath in. And exhale. Flip the right wrist, lengthen through the right leg once again, reach it up and back. 2 breaths in reverse or peaceful triangle. And exhale. Last breath in. And exhale. Inhale, come up to stand. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Either take your vinyasa or you're more than welcome to skip it and meet in down dog. If you're taking it, inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 2 breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Left knee into the nose. Really push the ground away as you pull the knee into the nose. And then step the left foot in front of the right, crisscross down dog. So the pinky toe edges of the feet are next to one another. You can see your left knee in front of your right. You can stay here in crisscross down dog, or if you want to take it a little bit further, lift the right hand. On the balls of the feet, swivel around to hover the butt off of the ground. From here, lift the hips up, coming into a different variation of rock star, wild thing. Lifting the hips up, 2 breaths wherever you landed. 1 more breath. And exhale. Twist yourself back around if you took the rock star wild thing. We'll all meet in crisscross down dog, where the left leg is in front of the right. And then go ahead and step that left foot through in between the hands. If you get stuck halfway, help it up. Low lunge, hands can be on blocks, hands can be on the floor. Pull the chest and the heart forward so we're not sinking and rounding. Really open the chest, pull it forward. 2 more breaths. If you need the back knee down here, you're more than welcome to put it down. 1 more breath. And exhale. Set the blocks out of the way if you use them. Get strong in your feet. Come up, high lunge. 3 breaths in high lunge. Aiming for a 90-degree angle here. We might never get there, but that's where we're aiming to. 2 more breaths. Again, arms can be up or they can be at heart center. 1 more breath. And exhale. Open it up, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Again, the shoulders are relaxed on the back. We're stacking the ears, shoulders, and the hips in alignment. 2 more breaths here. Can you get a little deeper? 1 more breath. And exhale. Flip the left wrist, lengthen the left leg, reach it up and back, reverse or peaceful triangle. 2 breaths here, breathe in, and breathe out. 1 more breath in, and breath out. Inhale, come up to stand, turn all 10 toes to the right side of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, hinge forward, wide leg forward folds. Same cues as last time. Can you pull the weight heavier into the balls of the feet, a little lighter in the heels? Can you walk the hands back in line with the feet if you have that flexibility? And at the bottom of your fold, release your head and your neck down. 2 more breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. Inhale, half lift, pull the chest and heart forward. Hands come to hips. Hinge yourself up, coming into flying warrior, so hands can stay on the hips or they can reach up to the sky. Instead of having your butt sticking out in a back bend, can you have a slight tuck to the tailbone, as if the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and your bum could all be touching an invisible wall behind you. 2 more breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. And then we inhale and lengthen. And exhale, warrior 2 to the top of the mat. Left knee bends, right leg goes straight. Looking over the left middle finger. Keeping our arms strong so they're not sagging down. Keep the arms strong. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Flip the left wrist. Lengthen the left leg. Reach it up and back. Peaceful triangle for 2 breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath in. And breath out. Inhale, come up to stand. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Last vinyasa if you'd like to take it. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Maybe take a moment to notice, without judgment, if this downward facing dog feels any different from your first. Inhale, right knee into nose. Right knee comes behind the right wrist for pigeon pose. If this variation of pigeon does not work in your body, you can come to lay on your back, right ankle over the left knee in a figure 4. If you're in this variation of pigeon, making sure that the left hip, the left knee, and the left toe are dialed down to the ground. Using any props you might need, a blanket or a block under the right butt cheek, under the left leg, under the chest, under the head. You can go ahead and release yourself down if you'd like to fold forward. And allowing the ground to come up to support you here. Allowing the mat to be the one to help hold you up. Coming back to the breath. Maybe coming back to that intention if you set one. Allowing the nervous system to start to settle, coming back into the parasympathetic nervous system. Two more breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more. If you're on your back, you can stay. If you're in this variation of pigeon, gently walk yourself up. If you folded forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, step back, downward facing dog, just to allow that right leg to unfold. And then go ahead and bring the left knee behind the left wrist for pigeon on the other side. Use, again, any props that you need here. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and release yourself down into your fold if you'd like to take it. Again, allowing yourself to surrender into this mat. Allow the mat to hold you up here. Coming back to the breath. Just noticing where the breath is now compared to during our flow. One more here. And exhale. Gently lift yourself up if you folded forward. If you're on your back, you can stay on your back. Come to sit on the left butt cheek. Swing the right leg around. Plant both feet onto the ground. And slowly, with care, or quickly with care, lower yourself all the way down onto the mat. Once you arrive, windshield wiper the knees so the heels go to the edges of the mat. The arms are teed out, and gently dropping the knees from side to side, releasing the hips, releasing the lower back. And once you've evened yourself out here, go ahead and release the legs. Lengthen them out in front of you. Arms go by the sides, about half a foot to a foot away from the body, palms facing up. And allow yourself to find rest here in our final resting pose, Shavasana. After your next exhale, go ahead and release the air out completely from the bottom of the lungs. Inhale, circle the arms long overhead, fingers in one direction, toes in the other. Wiggle through the fingers, wiggle through the toes, full body stretch. And then as you exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Wrap yourself up in a big hug, offering yourself compassion, acceptance, love, and grace. Things you so freely give to others and so often neglect to give to yourself. Offering you a permission slip today and every single day moving forward to give yourself these things without guilt and without shame. One more big squeeze in, and then gently roll over to one side, slowly coming to lift yourself up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you after practice. And together, we'll come back for one more deep collective breath. So inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up overhead. Palms come to touch and down through heart center, Anjali Mudra, bowing the head in gratitude for your body that does so much for you without you ever asking. And to this ancient practice that helps us come back home to heart center and find presence. Seal your practice in with a breath. Thank you so much for flowing with me. I bow to you. I'm so grateful that you were here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can drop them in the comment box below, or you can find me on Instagram at AlyssaXXTucker. I would be honored to connect with you. Have a wonderful day. Take care.